Hello, welcome to my video. I want to show you an update about my most current video game. And the video game I'm making is a football manager for the World Cup 2026. Um, Let me start the game right away. But before I'm gonna tell you what everything is, I want to tell you that most of what I did so far is database building. And I did not manually create 1152 players for 48 teams um, to be played in the World Cup. Instead, I made a plugin that will generate all those players for me. And the nice thing about it is that the stats are somewhat random, the names are random, um, so the teams are random, and basically every time you restart the game, you get a whole fresh team with a whole fresh set of opponents. In the first screen, we see 48 flags, and each flag is supposed to be the country that is in the real life World Cup 2026. But we don't know yet which teams are going to be qualified and which teams won't be qualified. So I just picked 48 teams that have been in World Cups in the past years. I had to go a few tournaments back because the upcoming tournament has more teams than they used to have. I believe it used to be 32 or maybe 36, but the World Cup in 2024 is gonna have 48 teams, and I made 24 players per team for the player to choose from, and this means there are 1152 players in total. 24 for the Netherlands, 24 for Belgium, 24 for England, 24 for the USA, and so on and so on. If I choose the Netherlands for this example, am I sure? Yes, I'm sure. Then we get to the second screen. Normally you don't go straight to this screen. There will be a whole menu where the player chooses what screen they will see next. But I didn't make any of that yet, so we go straight to the formation screen where the player can choose which formation they want to play. As you can see, when I press one of the buttons, I get the right formation. 4-1-5, 4-1-5, meaning 4 defenders, 1 midfielder, and 5 offenders or attackers. I might use the wrong English terms, by the way, because English is not my main language, and I don't watch a lot of soccer with the TV in English. This is the setup. The player chooses which of his players he puts on what position, and this will generate stats for certain areas in the field. Meaning that when they play with 1-4-5, there will be higher stats in this area, while there is very low stats here. It takes a little bit of this player, a little bit of this player, and a little bit of the goalkeeper. But it would be a lot stronger if there were players selected here, but then they would be weak here and here where there's less players. Especially if the defender or the opponent has players in areas where the player has no players. But on the other hand, if the opponent has a lot of offenders here and a lot of midfielders, it means they don't have that much attackers, and that means that on this part of the field the player would be much stronger than the opponent. Um, that is effectively what I can show you so far in the actual game, and even what I just showed you is all just placeholder to create the system. The interface and the looks I will show you later, because I have to create all that still. What else can the plugin do? Well, as I told you, the plugin creates 1152 players at once, and each player gets a screen like this. This is player 1 of team 1. Team 1 is the Netherlands. This is a goalkeeper with oh, which is really good at penalty taking. Not every goalkeeper has good penalty taking. This is pure luck. This goalkeeper has good stats everywhere. It might even be decent as a striker. I have to tweak this a little bit, but as you can see, there is stats for everyone, and the better the stats, the greener it gets. The worse the stat, it goes to yellow, and then orange, then red. And there is for 24 players for each team. Hey, why do I only get 12? Why do I only get 12? I see this had to be 25. Doesn't matter. You get to see all the players for all the teams that way. But if you want to see all the players of a team at once, we can do that as well. And as you see, this is the Netherlands. The players are named Duif, Den Oever, De Bruin, De Wit. But if I refresh and reset the whole database, the first player will be Timmerman, De Rooij, De Hond, Duif. The stats will be somewhat randomized as well. Of course, the goalkeeper will have a bit better stats for goalkeeping, while a midfielder has better stats for the midfield. The next thing I can show you is the team screen. The stats of the team will be the group they play in, which is random every time as well. Group G, Group I, Group F. It will all be decided when the game launches for the first time, and that means that if you don't like the setup you get, you can always start a new game and you get a whole new setup with new opponents. And of course there is a page of this for every single team. Here we see the groups. This is simply the table of each group. Group A has Argentina, Denmark, Iceland and Ghana. The number of matches they have played, the number of matches they won, tied or lost, and the points they got for it. A win is 3 points, a draw is 1 point, and a lose is no points at all. Here is the goals they made, the goals they got against them, and finally this is the goals they made minus the goals they got against them. And again, this is also done for each group. Those stats obviously are not random, they will be updated after each match. The next screen is the playing schedule. It simply shows all the matches that are going to be played next. After matches are played, you can see those matches again, but then 0-0 will say 1 versus 12 if it was 1-12, which is a really weird score for a soccer match, especially in the World Cup. But I have confidence in Costa Rica. There's one more screen I can show you. No, I cannot. This one is not finished yet. Those were the screens I have so far. What will happen next is after the player has made their formation and their selection, they can start the next match. When the match starts, every few seconds, which will not actually take seconds, but every few seconds in game, that there will be a little message generated, and it starts here when the game starts, because here is the this is the position where the ball starts when the game starts. It takes the players that are closest by. It takes the stats from those players, and that will calculate which player has the best chance to be successful in this action. For example, this player and this player are both here in an action. This one has a really great pass, and this one is not so fast. Then this one can easily pass it to their player here. And if this would be a really fast player, then the chance would be high that the ball would be intercepted before it reaches the player here. The squares you see here, by the way, are not the locations where a ball can, where an action can be triggered. This is where the players will be set up. But an action can actually be triggered everywhere on the field, and players that are stationed closest by will affect the outcome of each scene. This translates to text. There will be a written report of the game, of the match, and in this match it will say, for example, let me see some players. It might say that one player took a goal, and might say, oh, Visser did an epic save, and will say epic because their goalkeeping is epic. If it was good, it might say he did a good save, or he saved the ball with his good goalkeeping skills or epic goalkeeping skills. It will use those how do I call those? Stats? Just stats? it will actually name those stats in the report, just like you see them here. That's also the reason they don't start with a cap, because they are used halfway with a capital. Because those words will show up halfway a sentence, and otherwise they will have a capital as well. And in those reports, the color code will be included as well. So if there's an action, something goes wrong because player van Amsterdam has a disastrous is a disastrous striker, then it will actually mention disastrous in dark red. And this will result in 90 minutes of gameplay, which will instantly be generated, so the player doesn't have to wait 90 minutes, but they can instantly see the outcome of their game. Probably a little animation first, where you can see which ball is where when an action is triggered. and then the outcome of the game is of the match is known, and the stats of the tournament will be updated until every player has played all their opponents in their own group, and then the winners go to the finals. It will start with 16th finals, then the 8th finals, quarterfinals, half finals, and finally the finals, and then we know who's the champion and who is not. But I have to create every aspect of that still, and I will. I still have uh, pretty much 2 years to do this, although I want to have it done way before the World Cup 2026. So I have enough time to adjust it, to debug, to tweak the stats, because I don't even know if my stats are good right now because I can't test it because I didn't create the actual game just yet. But I have enough time to do this. I hope you all like what I create, and well, thank you for watching. I will keep you guys updated, and have a great day.